We're back. Episode 3, Alone Together, where we write, record, and release a brand new song every week. If this is your first time tuning in, you heard that right. We are bringing you a brand new song every single week. Better yet, we're hearing it for the first time with you. So how do we make that happen? We play a little bit of recording telephone. So Phil sends me a part. I add whatever I want to that part. Phil never hears what I add. I send it on to Benji. Benji adds whatever he wants. He sends it on to Tymir. He adds whatever he wants. And then he sends it on to Nate. Nate adds whatever he wants, and he takes a day to mix it. So Nate has heard the song. He's the only one of us who's heard the song. Excited to hear his thoughts, that's for sure. And this week, we actually have a special guest. So you're going to see him in just a moment. All of our Patreon members can have these songs exclusively. They're not going to be released at this point. So right now, Patreon is going to be the only place you can hear them after the fact. We're excited about this week's song. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the boys.
Hello, hello.
What's good?
Hello.
What's
hello.
good?
Hello, everybody.
Hand motions.
Hands motions.
The
All right,
E06
so-
looks good.
Yeah, that's right. This week we got 6. So Derek, could you introduce yourself? Derek, over there.
Hello, I am Derek, and Colin asked me to sing on this song a little bit, so I'm here.
So Derek was, he played guitar with us for about 2 years? Jeez,
Yeah.
something like that early on, and he now has his own project called Bad Naps. If you've seen us, we played with him at Virginia Beer Company a little bit back. And as soon as I got this song from Phil, I said, oh man, Derek is going to love this. And I only sent him a little section. So he hasn't even heard the song yet. He's only heard the part that I asked him to record on. So, Derek, something that we do every week is I ask the boys a very silly question, just to warm us up, get us loose.
Awesome.
This week, we got a little bit of a two-parter. That's right. Ty's stretching out. There we go.
I'm ready. I'm getting ready.
So we got a two-parter this week. The first part, if there was a zombie apocalypse tomorrow, what is the first thing you would do? And the second part is when you inevitably die in the great zombie apocalypse, what will it say on your tombstone? So I like to go with Phil first because he's quick. So Phil, if there's a zombie apocalypse tomorrow, what is the first thing you would do? And when you inevitably die in the great zombie apocalypse, what will it say on your tombstone?
Get a big car that has enough protection. I'll never die, but if I did, it would say it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
I'm not even going to ask why. I love that answer. That's great. All right. What would Cupcake do, Benji? I don't really need to know about you.
So okay, well,
Just
that's actually
waffles?
no. This is Cupcake. But that's actually a great segue because the two are intertwined. Because I would be the first to die because I would absolutely get bitten by one of my cats and not even know it, and I would immediately turn into a zombie, and I would not have a tombstone because I would immediately become a zombie.
Love it. Love it.
Wow.
That's a bummer.
Let's see. Who feels like answering next?
Me. I don't know.
All right.
Yes, Tymir?
Yes, me. The first thing I would do is go to the food line across the street and get a bunch of ice cream, and then think on the fact that there's a zombie apocalypse going on. That would take up a good 2 days, probably. And then on my tombstone, well, hold on, Colin. How do I die? You're in charge of that.
Okay, I'm in charge of how you die.
Yeah.
I think you die from the coronavirus during the great zombie apocalypse.
I see.
That's brutal,
I was
man.
gonna say,
Yeah,
I was gonna say, dang it, on my tombstone. Darn it all.
Dang it. Oh, that's good.
And
All
then
right.
It'll have a picture of me, but it'll be like pixelated and zoomed in and really ugly. So
It's
Like
gonna
me
be
on these calls.
like
Yeah,
an
exactly.
old Snapchat photo from like 10 years ago.
that's me.
Oh, man. Like a under chin.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll
Derek, there we
I'll
go.
tell you, sure, yeah. The first thing I would do is probably ask my wife Jamie if we can drive to the most remote place that we can think of on a tank of gas, whatever we have in the car,
Word.
to try
Aw.
and preserve the life that we will lose, I guess. And then
You already know that going into this.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. But I'd rather die in a place of solitude and peace than be overtaken by zombies. In my
It's
opinion.
not a fun way to go. It's not a
I like
fun
it.
way to go. A lot of noise. You know.
And like teeth and stuff, I
Yeah,
imagine.
you know.
Yeah.
Teeth.
And I don't know. I was just, since we brought up bad naps, I feel like something like ironic, like rest. May he have good naps now, or something like that. Just like something really like really
nap in
not-
peace.
Yeah, nap in peace or something.
Nap in
Just-
peace.
Just like so cringy, but like kind of funny, you know.
I like it. Oh, that's funny. All right, Nate. And now I got to start thinking too. What you
All
got?
right, I'm gonna say first thing I would do. It's a little morbid. Mom, don't be upset. First thing I'm gonna do, if there's an impending zombie apocalypse, I'm gonna go buy a gun, because quite frankly, I want to be able to
That's
go
valid.
out on my own terms, as opposed to be getting chewed on in the face. Or
Oh, the gun is not for the zombies.
You know, I don't want the zombie. Like, they can eat me after I'm dead. I don't care. But
Okay.
I'd still rather go out on my own terms.
And what does it say on your tombstone?
My tombstone would probably say either he went out on his own terms, or
Sorry,
or it
Mom.
would say he was the coolest dad. So
He was
He was the coolest dad. I like that one.
which is funny because I'm not a father in any way, shape, or form,
I love it.
but I
That's great.
embody a father.
Cool
I
dads.
just got a text from my girlfriend that said, "Wow, super morbid."
She's right.
I love
Allie,
you,
you're right. Shout out, Allie.
Colin, what do you think?
Okay. So I would, in all zombie movies, they say you got to leave because if you stay at home, like that's surefire that you're going to die. I don't understand that logic. I would hunker down in my house. I would never leave. I don't know why I would eat, but I know that the first thing I would do is not leave my house. I don't know where that logic came from.
No, I'm
I
leaving.
disagree with it.
Yeah.
No, I also
outta here.
we live in Williamsburg,
Bye-bye.
Derek. There's not that many people here. Okay, so I would stay.
Colin, where was the
But
hot
think about
spot
the number
first
of
for the
infected people that are
coronavirus?
coming to Busch Gardens.
That's
You
true,
know
and
what
also
I mean?
Bush. It's true. I don't change my answer. And what would I get on my tombstone? I've never thought about this.
He
Even
says
when I
as if
asked
he
the
didn't make the
question.
question.
Why don't I think about these before? I think it would just say, sorry for not following the advice of every zombie movie, because I obviously died. I clearly, yeah,
Rule number 1, double tap.
yeah,
Obviously.
Yep.
double tap. There you go. What is that? Zombie? What is it?
Zombieland.
Zombieland. Yeah.
Classic.
All right. So this week we have a song called "You and Me and World War III." So I'm very excited about this song. We're gonna go ahead and listen to it here in just a few seconds. So write in the comments what you think, and then after we're gonna go into it a little bit, and we'll play it again at the end. So let us know what you think in the comments. And all of us are getting ready, and we're gonna play the song in 3, 2, 1.
Another night, another fight in bed as I lay beside you, fending off my existential dread. The ghosts of my anxiety from past, present, and future, they all pay me a visit and they all leave me a suture. Suture. You and me, and a world war makes three. Can't get to sleep in these crowded streets, so when you wake up, please be kind and know I'm here. It's lights out, the White House, so it's everyone for themselves now. When you wake in, I'm still shaking.
We're a little.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, rock and roll. Oh man, there's so much that's changed.
There was a lot, yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So Derek is the one who's heard this song the least because he had only heard the woes that I asked him to sing on, and he sent me some awesome parts to add on top of that. So normally I'd start with Phil, but this week I'm going to start with Derek. It's going to go ahead and play his woes in it, so you can hear what he added to this song. And I want to hear your reaction to this song, Derek. So Phil's going to click us on over, and we're going to talk a little bit about you and me in World War III.
All right. My first thought was we should get the circle pit started because
Yes.
like a pop punk anthem.
Yeah,
I kept trying to do the high harmonies for the woes, but clearly Benji could do it, and so I'm glad that he was able to do it because I just could not figure out how to do it. They sound great though. But yeah, I think the song is a ripper. It's like reminds me of like an early 2000s like when pop punk was just starting to get on the radio with like the Starting Line or like even like a Good Charlotte or something, like something fun, and like the harmonized vocals pretty much the whole way through was pretty dope.
Yeah. Cool. I appreciate that. I told Phil the moment I heard this song, I was like, oh, Derek's going to love this song.
It's sick, dude. You might have some different kind of dancing at your next show.
Yeah. It's our most pop. I think it's our most pop punk song. What do you think?
Oh yeah, you got like the double time kick and stuff.
Yeah. And then in the bridge, I got the
Yeah. And then especially with the, I guess you guys didn't know that the lighthouse or light and White House, lights out at the White House part was going to be, what is that called? Like layered in the background. I don't know what that's called, but like that's also a very like cool pop punk element. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in Phil. He's going to talk to me about what he sent, and we'll all chat again at the end. So, Phil, let's hear what you sent me. And
yeah, there it is. Much different, a lot sparser. I was very hesitant to put too much because I knew that this was something that I felt like the gang was going to be able to really put their own stamp on. So I tried to keep it as minimal as possible. I even put more than I wanted to in the end. Personally, I had kind of sworn off writing any more woe choruses or woe parts for the rest of my life, but this song just was too good. I mean, for those of you who might not know or might have forgotten, we had a whole lot of woes in our first couple EPs and album, and so I thought as a challenge to avoid that, but it was just too good, and everybody singing was awesome. I did a take that ended up being a high pass vocal that Benji ended up doing that sounds way better in his voice, so that's awesome, and I'm excited to listen back to just the isolated parts that everybody sent, because this is, you can hear my like very sparse thing, but I had hopes of like a grander, more built up song. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not do anything. This week was very normal for me. I did just straight up drum parts. As Derek said, I try to lean into the pop punk style on this one. I really wanted to have that really driving, like in the bridge, get that, as I just mentioned with Derek, that driving part.
Yeah.
But this week, I don't really have a lot to say about what I added because it was pretty straightforward.
You want to hear it real quick?
Yeah, we can play it for a second in the background. I'll talk about it. So, this was a fun one just because it's a little bit more. We don't usually do stuff, but I actually played guitar in a pop punk band for years. So if you're familiar with Dreams of University at all, that's how I started in music. And this was kind of Phil hit the wrong scene. That's okay. Let's go ahead and bring in. So after I was done with my parts, I sent on to onto Benji. And we're going to go and bring in Benji and see what his thoughts were and what he added.
Hi.
Hello.
So basically when I got it, like I think we all immediately like knew where the song was gonna go, which is interesting because like we've had other songs in this where it's kind of steered in like a different direction than what it kind of started as, but I think pretty much everybody sort of had a feeling that this was where it was gonna be. And so I just I did a couple guitar passes. I think the main one that stayed in was just I did like a really nasty fuzzy guitar, and I think that's on the left side. It's just, and like I let it feed back a lot. I let it like fizzle out and get really crunchy and sputtery. And that was a lot of fun. And then like I knew that like Phil had wanted us to do more vocals and stuff, and I was listening through it, and I was just gonna do the woes, and I listened, and I was like, no, I sing in an emo band. I'm just gonna do the thing that you do in an emo band. Yeah. And I just decided to start tracking starting verse 2, and I threw my voice out.
Those parts are high.
They are very high. And thank you, Nate, for cleaning up some of the grossness in my voice, because man, it was up there. But yeah, it was like, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. I haven't had as many opportunities to sing anything in that register probably since I last recorded the last Slowgoers EP, which also had some really high parts. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to like do vocals to that amount and that extent, and to just kind of make them, in my opinion, mesh really nicely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I loved it. I loved everything you added. And you sent it on to Timir, and Timir, I got a text from Nate that was like, oh man, I think Timir just wrote the perfect bass part for this song. And he admitted right after saying that it sounds like a part that he would have thought about writing himself. So maybe that's why he likes it. But hearing it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what the song needed. So tell me a little bit your thoughts on the song and the part that you added.
So when I first heard it, I was super on board with everything, especially the vocals. And when I heard it, I was like, okay, I can tell what headspace I'm gonna get into for this, but let me go a little further. So it reminded me of like Motion City soundtrack, and like who else? Oh yeah, there's like a band from the 2000s called The Anniversary. They were basically an emo band plus synths. Like that, if you know, that's how you market them. And so I listened to some stuff to get some inspiration for bass parts, and I was like, okay, let's just keep it simple. And that bridge, there's all that space that I found it. I was like, okay, I like the key we're in. I'm gonna like write this like epic, simple but like epic sounding, ascending kind of bass part that'll really drive the chorus when it comes in. So that was my inspiration for that. And yeah, that's kind of it.
Awesome. No, it was great. You crushed it. Bass parts are an interesting thing because people don't necessarily think about them, but they often are like the most driving part of the song. Like I think that they can move songs forward in a way that even drums can't, because drums are so percussive, where bass can be a little more flourishy and melodic and percussive. Yeah, it's very interesting. Well, you crushed it. I'm excited to listen back to this song. That's the thing about listening to it. And if you're just tuning in, we're going to listen to it again here in just a few minutes. So be prepared for that. Let's go ahead and kick it on over to Nate. So you sent it on to Nate. Nate got the whole session. Tell me your thoughts on the song and what you added.
So I got the song and I was like, wow, this is great. This is very much in my wheelhouse. As another person who plays in an emo/punk band, it's I was like, great, this is, I can hop onto this. So it's interesting. So I brought all the tracks in, some, depending on, how things work out when I bring all the tracks in, I'm like, okay, I'm maybe going to want to retrack this, or maybe I'm going to want to as I've said before, I think to a certain extent, a lot of my job in this context is trimming the fat, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or trimming the fat and then repurposing the fat.
Repurposing the fat. Broke Royals.
Repurposing the fat for a nice collagen lip fill. I don't know. But anyway. Basically, I just added a guitar part. Just another giant, aggressive, distorted guitar part.
Yeah.
So Benji's lives on the left side in the left speaker. My guitar part lives in the right side of the speaker.
Okay.
Or right speaker. I was gonna add vocals, but then I heard everything that Benji and Derek added, and I was like, well, I don't need to do anything here. They kind of took care of it and crushed it. So yeah, I just added the guitar part, and that was pretty much it. And then
that's
I mixed
awesome.
the song, and that's it. So.
Well, it sounds great. I'm stoked on it. So let's go and bring all the boys back in. If you're just tuning in, we're going to play the brand new song here in just a minute. This song is called
back in.
This song is called You and Me and World War III. You can guess kind of the influence, the inspiration, but why guess when we have the songwriter himself right here? Let's go and kick it over to Philip, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind this song.
Thank you, Colin. Yeah, this was a fun one. This is the first time that I used something that I didn't entirely write the week of, which is mostly what I've been trying to do for this project. But I had just 10% or so of this song kicking around throughout the last couple years, which have been varying levels of a disaster. And what I really liked about it, what really was kind of the hook for me, was taking the grandness of how bad things can seem and making it really intimate. And there are a lot of songwriters that I admire who have done this kind of thing. Interestingly, this week the Run the Jewels album came out, and it's really like political and talks about the moment we're living in, but also really personal. And a lot of people have been taking that as like the biggest turn for them writing wise. And it was kind of fun to just be on that same wavelength this week of looking at the world more broadly, but then doing it in a way that was really just about having a hard time falling asleep and anxiety and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love it. Let's go and bring the boys back in. We're going to thank Derek for joining us. Thank you, Derek. Thank you for your part.
Thank you.
Thank everybody for all the hard work. And Derek, we might bring you back in the next pop punk anthem that we write. We got to get your woes on it. Good job, everybody. So You and Me and World War III. We're going to play it one more time. We're going to let it play us out, and then we will see you all next Friday at 4 p.m. with a brand new song. I started working on this song today. It might be my favorite song. I'm sending it on to Benji as soon as I'm done with it. And we're excited to bring it to you next week. So look out for that.
That's a surprise to me.
That's an exciting one.
I'm surprised by that. But
okay. Well,
cliffhanger.
Well, so tune in 4 p.m. next week to see why that's a surprise to Phil and why I'm so excited about it. So,
all right, drum roll,
4
please.
4 p.m. next Friday. We'll see you alone together. Bye, everybody.
Another night, another fight in bed as I lay beside you, fending off my existential dread.
Keep waiting.
The ghosts of my anxiety from past, present, and future, they all pay me a visit and they all leave me a suture.